today's video, I want to talk about protecting the preschool years and what that means and what that is and why it is so important. So let's discuss that. If you're new here, my name is Melinda. I'm a homeschool mom of 4 young children, and my family and I live in Costa Rica. I am on a journey in motherhood. I am still a fairly young mom myself, like I said, my oldest being 8, and yet I love to share the things that I have learned and I'm learning with other young moms like myself, especially when it comes to homeschooling and to overcoming overwhelm in motherhood. So if any of that interests you, then I invite you to stick around. So discussing the preschool years and protecting the preschool years. The reason I thought of this is the other day we were at some neighbors of ours talking about, well, they're wonderful parents, very dedicated parents to their 2 little girls. The mom, she works as a school teacher. The dad stays home to take care of the girls because that's the way it works out best for their family at this stage and the way the work is and so on. But you can see they're both very dedicated and love their little girls and want the very best for them. And they were talking of how she's a public school preschool teacher, but how the public school here in Costa Rica is trying to bring in a new system of where they already have it where 4-year-olds go to like preschool almost, and then I think there's like 4 and 5 and 6, and maybe 6 is first grade. I don't know. I've not been in the public school, but I know they have the preschool and the kindergarten and they're bringing in this. They're trying to bring in this new program for 3-year-olds, for sending 3-year-olds already to school. I don't know if any of it is like if you have to send your 4-year-old or not. I mean, you don't have to, but I don't know if they say that you have to, or if you can wait till at least till kindergarten. But I know that they want to bring in this for 3-year-olds, and we were talking of how they absolutely saw it not necessary. Now there's a few cases we were talking of where parents are neglectful, where a few cases where it might be helpful to have their children in school. But in most cases, we were saying it would be better to have a school for parents than to have sending these 3-year-olds to school. And I was thinking of it has set me thinking about how do we protect those preschool years, and I've thought of it, and I've as my youngest is almost 3, and I have a 5-year-old and a 7, 8, and 8-year-old, which are obviously in school already. But and when I make my homeschooling videos and so on, you often see my 4-year-olds, maybe even my 3-year-olds, I don't know, my 5-year-olds doing some schoolwork because they asked to do it. And I never want to bring it up like I think that is something necessary. In a homeschooling family, obviously the 2, 3, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds will see their older siblings doing school and want to, and I'm all for that, letting them if they want to. But I feel very strongly that these preschool years should be protected. They should not be forcing to sit at a desk. If your child wants to sit at a desk and do some studying, why? By all means, let them. But another thing that has bothered me over the last few years, I used to not be on social media at all. The last few years I've been more on Facebook and Instagram, and I've enjoyed it, but I mean, knowing that there's limits. But I've seen over and over and over and over in another homeschool group, of homeschoolers here in Costa Rica, they're wondering about their 4 and 5-year-old that are not interested in sitting and learning letters, they just don't learn. They don't want to sit still. And it breaks my heart, because why are we under all this pressure? From where? From what system? Sure, we love to have smart little children. We love to see our 4-year-old learn to read. Most of mine haven't really learned to read at 4, maybe a few words, but not like really learned to read at 4. But your children, before they are, I would say, preschool years till, well, for sure 6, maybe even till 7, is a time that is, the first 6 years is a time that is very special. You should, in that time, teach your children obedience. You should teach them beginning responsibility. You should teach them a lot from the life around them. Teach them about God. Teach them that they are not, that the whole world doesn't center around them. They're special, they're wonderful. But they are part of a bigger whole, and that's what you should teach them. That not everything has to be done the way they want it, because they are part of something bigger. They're not the whole thing. They're your whole world, but they're not the whole world. And it doesn't mean you have to cater to everything they want either. But we need to protect those preschool years. And how do we? I believe that we need to give them a happy, free childhood. Give them lots of time outdoors, just simply exploring, or indoors with toys, building, reading to them stories if they want, laughing and playing with them, showing them real life, letting them work with you. All of those are wonderful things, and things that should be done. But I've sometimes wondered, how do we know if we're doing the right thing for our children? I know I'm not an older mom yet, not that much older, maybe getting a little bit older than when I just had 2 and 3-year-olds and babies. But how do we know we're giving them a happy preschool, their preschool years, a happy childhood? And I've thought of it, sometimes just observing my children. Sure, there's tantrums, sure there's sad days, sure they're tired. Sometimes there's days where I have been exhausted with 1 or 2 of them, especially where there was just seemed tantrum after tantrum. But it's a season. But in general, do you every day see them, aside from being when they're sick or something like that, laughing and playing happily? Not all day long, maybe, they often don't. But that's a pretty good gauge if you are giving them a happy childhood. If they're free a lot, they should have beginning responsibilities, they should learn to obey you. And it's wonderful if they can work with you, but that they want to chase butterflies, they want to whatever. Let them enjoy. Teach them letters if they want, but do not think they have to sit half an hour even, or 1 hour. I'm all for teaching children to their concentration spans and so on. I mean, we try to teach them to respectfully sit the 1.5 hours or so in church that we have besides Sunday school. But I mean, they're free to draw in that time quietly, or play a quiet toy or something, those younger years. But they do not have to sit there and have to do their schoolwork pages or have to learn their letters. Once in a while, I think I've pushed a little bit too much, but I've always had this concept and always try to remind myself, going back to, no, children, till they're 6 at least, they do not. Some people would say older. I won't say for sure, but because I'm not, I study my own children, but most of them around 6 or 7 are ready to start school. Some of them earlier, and that's fine, but they're not made to do it. So I want to give you that vision, that, what's the word that I'm looking for? Just let you know, if your 4 and 5-year-old don't want to sit and study and learn their letters, that is totally okay. Many times they'll pick it up quickly later at 7 or 8, and by the time you have 10-year-olds, you cannot usually tell who learned to read at 4 and who learned to read at 7. So that doesn't make such a big difference. And if they want to learn, let them learn. If they want to draw and write in books, and you have some, I have preschool. We're going to be starting, by the time you see this video, we will have started our new school year, because here in Costa Rica we start February to November, something like that. So even my almost 3-year-old, I did buy him some of the most beginning simple preschool books, because I know he'll probably want them at some point. But if he doesn't all year, that's okay. My 5-year-old, she finished last year. She wanted the books. She finished all the kindergarten books I had, and the next step is 1st grade books. So I bought her the beginning part of 1st grade. But again, if she'll not be interested in doing it, and at the moment she's just waiting to do it, but if she won't, she doesn't have to do school this year. Next year I'll probably require of her, and this year she can do what she wants, but she doesn't have to. So those are just my encouragements for you. Let them be children and enjoy their preschool years, and let's not take away the freedom of childhood and putting them in school at 3 and 4, because sometimes there's reasons that some moms for working or something can't take care of their children, but try to find an option where they can be free and grow and learn from the outdoors, from their play, from working with you, and watch them smile and laugh, so that later they will not have missed out on that happy childhood. And so I would love to hear from you below too. What age do you think is the right age, or do you agree with this? How does one protect the preschool years, or is it necessary to teach children earlier if they're not interested? What would you say about that? And homeschooling and all of that interests you, I welcome you to subscribe. And below you will find linked my mom community and courses. I have a community. It's not on Facebook or anything like that. It's off social media, with several courses on how to overcome overwhelm as a young mom and how to have a thriving homeschool, and all of that is in there too. And a community of other moms seeking to do the same, to being the best mothers we can for our little ones. So I would love to have you join us there if that interests you. And be sure to check out this video here on how our children are a blessing, and to remember that on the hard days. And then we'll see you in the next video. Bye.